We are live. We're going to be getting to Cowboys Giants from last night. Sean, you and I are going to go see Megalopolis.
Oh yeah.
I'm juiced up for it. I don't know about you. I didn't see that you did this little graphic.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of. I almost pitched it as a topic. Have Joe's keen eye break down my Microsoft Paint graphic.
Where did you get the black
The texturing.
scribble? Yeah,
Yeah,
where did you get
I
that?
just downloaded it from a free texture website. I'm not getting Adobe stock. Go F yourself. I paid too much for Adobe already.
It's very MS Paintish. I might give you some critiques, but
You don't like the Pilsner font that I downloaded?
is that what that was?
Yeah, it's called Pilsner. Pilsner.
Did you not? Why didn't you just download it off of Adobe Fonts?
That was from Adobe Fonts.
Oh. So wait, we're gonna go see Megalopolis, which apparently has it seemingly has a very specific group of people who are into it. We were just yelling about this before we went live. I don't think it's real, but I said to Sean that there was a screen grab that somebody posted. There's an all-male viewing of Megalopolis. That would probably be the most toxic room in any city if they had one of those a week.
Easily would be the most toxic. And I don't need Megalopolis to be the galvanizing point for toxic dudes to go and yell in a movie theater. I don't need that. And I don't need it to be like the Fight Club of 2024 where it's just the bro movie. I just want it to be a good, fun, crazy Francis Ford Coppola nutcase movie.
And I was yelling at you that
Oh, you were.
I think it's gonna kind of have like the same reaction as Uncut Gems, where a lot of people didn't like Uncut Gems, and a lot of people that didn't like Uncut Gems were like, "Oh, I was so stressed out during it," and it's the point of the movie. Like it's supposed to be. One of the things I have heard, and I don't know why I know why I'm so invested in this, and why I'm excited to go see this in a couple of hours, is that a lot of people have said, not that it's bad, but Francis Ford Coppola tried as aggressively as possible to break every single film just natural procedure. He was trying to completely break through any barriers that nobody has attempted to. So it's a little bit dipshitty in the sense that he's just trying everything that he can as his last go around before he's completely done. And based on the way that he was acting on set, apparently, kind of sounds like he was just like, hey, I remember all the problematic shit that I did when I was directing movies back in the day. I'm gonna do all of that times 10 because I'll probably be dead soon. It kind of felt like that's what the vibe is here.
Yeah, he's giving it one last go around in treating the set like the 70s, which is it's 2024, man. Like it or don't like it, it's a completely different world. So doing the things that he's doing, it's not brave. It's ballsy. I'd say just
sure.
You got to have huge balls to try to make this movie in the way that he's making it. And even if it's a bag of garbage, I got to see it. I just need to see his Architect for Society movie. It just, because how could it not be insane? A senile Francis Ford Coppola deciding to have crazy Adam Driver doing a weird voice with weird faces all movie. I gotta get in there. I gotta have the popcorn. I'm off of Red Vines, by the way. I thought I was a Red Vines guy. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're bad. Well, actually, I don't know why I asked why. Yeah, they're bad.
I thought they were
Twizzlers all the way.
Like here's the thing that confused me. Like Twizzlers has like a Twizzler that's the Red Vine texture, where it's like smoother and not as like hard plasticky. Like the regular Twizzler
so it's more round.
Yeah, it's more rounded.
Okay.
But so I thought that Red Vines, when I was going to see Long Legs in the city, I thought Red Vines were kind of be like that, but they just tasted like asshole.
What I'm understanding is you never had Red Vines. You thought you were a Red Vines guy, and then all of a sudden you realized that, hey, I thought that I was a part of this demo of weirdos, but I'm not really.
I was sitting there pissed. Just pissed looking at the Red Vines, thinking that they were going to be better.
There's nothing worse because of how expensive candy is. There's nothing worse than spending the money on something new at the movie theater and be like, oh, I'll try this. And then it's stinking. Same thing goes for popcorn. If you get popcorn and it's not very good, it's like, great, I spent $15 on this bucket of popcorn that's shit, and I got to sit here with the whole movie. I don't want to get up and go exchange it for something else or ask for a different batch or whatever. You're stuck. It's an investment that you're stuck with for the whole movie. The candy choice is even more brutal because it's like $7 for a thing of candy. I'm not going to go toss this bag. I'm just going to suffer through eating whatever I bought.
And the real bad part about it is that it's boring to do tried and true at the movies. Sometimes at the movies you want to go a different trail with your candy selection.
What do you mean by tried and true?
Like Sour Patch Kids, Sour Skittles.
Oh, I thought you were like, no popcorn, you smoke a cigarette during the movie. I thought that's what you were going for there.
No,
back in the good days when I used to watch movies.
No, but going out on a limb and trying a new candy that you may not see in a 7-Eleven or bodega, then you could maybe rationalize that. But if it stinks...
Are you a Bunch of Crunch guy? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
I'm not. What is a Bunch of Crunch?
I don't even know. Oh, it's the bag of Crunch. Ah, God, I don't know about that one, Dan.
I think people like putting that in their popcorn. Which I don't like, because that just makes my fingers all like...
Yeah, there's just too much going on.
The only bad thing about popcorn is the residue on the fingers. And it feels like even if you're just sucking the hell out of the living life out of your fingers, you can never get the oil off. What?
Settle down over there.
I'm just trying to... I can't suck my own finger on my own show?
No! Not with my ears hearing it as pronounced as I just did. Look, we're going to get to football in a second, but Dan, I'm not going to try it. I'm sorry. This is exactly what we literally just talked about. We literally just said the risk of trying candy that you don't like going into a 2-hour movie, you're cooking yourself.
Yeah.
Because you start eating and it's like, great, now do I get up and miss the movie? You only get one good bathroom trip where you don't miss too much, so you're cooking yourself. It's Sour Patch, it's Twizzlers, or Swedish Fish. Those are the only three that I'll do. I'm not a chocolate person during movies.
Yeah, I'm over I'm kind of evolving out of the chocolate. Well, I had 2 baby Twix last night. I don't know what I'm talking about. They were fantastic. But in the movies, I think you got to go fruity candy. And then with the popcorn, if you're not going candy, you got to go with like a fruit punch as the big drink. I do like a big soda, but you know what? Chance is a nightmare because he started putting this brainworm in my head like months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Movie theaters have to have the Coke products. The Pepsi products are so subpar in the theaters. They're all warmer. They're all not as carbonated. Like there needs to be like a Coke freestyle machine. I think it's AMC.
That has never really materialized for me.
It'll start.
Because I'm not a soda person, and if I love myself a nice Mr. Pibb in the movie theater. What inspired that argument is that I bought the biggest Mr. Pibb that I could get when I was going into Oppenheimer. That was so worth it. All right.
You're a crazy person.
We have football that we're going to discuss. We're going to, out of the break, we're going to talk about Thursday Night Football. We're going to hit the break, and we'll come right back.
And now, back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for, probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson, 2 former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. Do you think at a certain point, is there like an age limit where I got to stop saying that, where it comes kind of just cringy? And I mean, it's already, I'm sure people are like, it's already cringy. But you think it gets to a certain point where I got to stop saying that?
Let's see what happens, how we feel when we turn 27. Because 26...
I would think 30 would be the cutoff.
Oh, I think like 28 may be the cutoff.
Really?
Let's see how we're feeling.
Well, that's like our whole personalities that we played together. Is it not?
Yeah, we did play together. Now we're not playing together. We're just living together like 2 weirdos.
Yeah, 2 weirdos. Today we're going to talk about the Thursday night football action between the Giants and the Cowboys. Very unexciting game that led to a lot of upset people that Brendan Aubrey could have covered when they didn't need to cover, could have covered and ended the game, and everybody's bets would have hit, but they did not hit. If you are one of those people and you want to go back and make some money on a good platform, where can they do it?
That's BetOnline, 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 BetOnline. You can't blame BetOnline for setting out a perfect line. Vegas is already on their A game, setting the lines for the NFL and football. It's a 5-point spread, 5.5-point spread. They win by 5. Are you kidding me? Are you pissing on me? That is crazy numbers. They're so sharp. But every now and again, they slip up, and we put out our bets, and we bet at Bet Online, and that's what you should do also. They have every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games, which is just how I think we need to move forward. It has to be during games, at least for me. If you think you know your stuff, get in on their $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200K. If you win some money there, head to the online casino. They got blackjack, they got poker, they got 150 slots games. Have some fun this weekend. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online, the game starts here.
I pulled up the questions. We're going to get to the mailbag questions this week, and I don't appreciate Jamie completely airing me out. It's not even a question.
He's problematic.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
just
I
being
almost
a
didn't
dick.
include it, but I have to include it.
Being a dick. All right, so last night, my New York Giants, 20-15, they lose to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm stunned. Enough people that I talked to yesterday that were projecting this game, including you, and all I could point out is that the Giants have no desire or effort to play good against the Cowboys in these primetime games. For the love of God, please stop scheduling the Giants and the Cowboys for primetime games. This game has never been good. When was the last time that we can think of, maybe when Eli Manning and Tony Romo were there, but in the past 5-6 years, in the era of Daniel Dipshit Jones, that we have watched this matchup be terrible. Both teams play bad because the Cowboys play down to them, and then they eke out either a very close win or they blow them out. It's a terrible game. But the one thing, and I think the question we ask ourselves, Sean, here, after a game like this isn't one of those ones where it's clear cut, oh, here's what we learned about these two teams. This team is taking a step forward. Is this game more telling of how Dallas could be regaining their footing, or is it more telling of how the Giants are dealing with issues? I'm seeing too many headlines today talking about how the Cowboys got their feet back underneath them and everything's starting to look like it's figured out. That is nutso to me. I think that this is the clearest indication of, again, not surprisingly, the Giants' issues that were very clearly magnetized. And there's one specific thing I'm going to get to in a second after you share your thoughts on this game. But what stands out to you the most? Is it Giants or is it Cowboys?
Yeah, it's actually the inverse of what I was seeing. The Giants outpassed the Cowboys 277 yards to 213. The Cowboys are not a good team. Like all this preseason hype, beginning season hype, that Browns game where they shut them down. No. This team is fraudulent. This team is weak. This team is undisciplined and poorly coached. They had 11 penalties. I thought on ESPN I saw 13 earlier this morning. It's possible it's 13. They are awful. 3 for 10 on third down. The Giants are the Giants are bad, right? We all see how bad they are. But last night you saw that Daniel Jones, as crazy as it is to say, seeing that Dak is still 7-0 against the Cowboys, crazy. Daniel Jones stepped up to the occasion a little bit.
Oh, no.
Which is,
no,
you gotta believe me.
No,
I haven't seen him throw the rock like that in 2 years. 2
No,
years I haven't seen him throw the rock like that. Why are you yelling?
Okay, this is the problem, man. Like, he has one good stat line, and then suddenly...
I wouldn't even say stat line. He's actually throwing the ball.
He was fine. I'm not giving him any grace. He has done too much damage to give him the... Well, maybe he's trending in the right direction. He has been starting for too long, Sean. He's been starting for too long.
Am I taking the bait?
Yes! Absolutely! I saw people... Well, one of the things that was really funny that I saw today, I always love the screenshot of that one tweet where it's, I'm gonna glance the box score and start arguing with everybody about tonight's game. And the caption for it is everyone who's supporting Daniel Jones. Look, yes, did he make more better throws than we have been used to seeing so far this season? Is he still not the guy? Yes to both of those things.
I would agree. I'd say so, but this is a telling game for the Cowboys, seeing that dunderhead move the ball down the field and throw to Malik Neighbors, who's maybe the best wide receiver I've ever seen in my life.
That's what's the key part here. No glazing Daniel Jones. No, Daniel Jones gets zero love. The only takeaway on the Giants offense has to be Malik Neighbors is a future star. The trajectory that he is on after this start to the season, 12 receptions for 115 yards, no touchdowns, the long of 39, completely cooked, broke the ankles of Andrew Booth Jr., I believe was the corner on that one play early on in the game. That's what this is. Daniel Jones, who stunk with no receivers, is a hair better now that he realized, oh, hey, I can throw to Malik Neighbors most of the time, and he's going to catch it because he's got great body control, and he's going to make people miss after the catch. That's all this is. There should be no Giants fans sitting here saying that, whoa, oh, Daniel Jones is looking better. No, for the love of God, stop falling for the bait. It's all bait. Look past what's directly in front of your freaking face for 1 second. Pay attention to the more important part of this. You have a talented future all-pro receiver potentially that needs a better quarterback. That's the only way to look at this. I'm not saying that Daniel Jones was his typical asshat terrible that we're used to seeing, but he wasn't great.
He still lost. I'll give.
And he also threw a pick.
Yeah, it's rough. What Daniel Jones is doing with Malik Neighbors, it makes me angrier and angrier with Trevor Lawrence not doing the exact same thing with Brian Thomas Jr. Why are you not just feeding this guy the ball? They're open. They get open. Malik Neighbors, even when he's covered, he's open. It's a crazy skill.
But Brian Thomas Jr. isn't as much that. He is.
I'm just saying, if you're a bad quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You're a dumpster, and you're having a terrible year. Trevor Lawrence is. Throw to the good receiver. Throw to the LSU guy. I'm not doing the LSU glazing bit. You do that plenty enough on your own other show.
Okay.
But these LSU receivers, it's wide receiver university. It's better than Ohio State. Better than anywhere else. They're leagues ahead of any other university as wide receiver U. Throw to the LSU guys. It makes they're better coming out of college. They're the best athletes. They have the best hands. They're the most dynamic and athletic they can get up. Do that, Trevor Lawrence. You have a guy from LSU. Throw him the ball. Daniel Jones is finally, for the first time in years, hasn't looked like a total suspect victim on the field because he's thrown to Malik Neighbors. It's a good draft pick. I'm actually shocked you guys knocked this one out of the park.
Well, I mean, again, this all comes back to the investment that you place in drafting receivers early and drafting talented receivers, something that they had avoided for a very long time. Like Kadarius Toney wasn't going to fix all your issues. For the love of God, that was still such a painful pick to remember. But this is what happens when you invest in fixing your problems instead of punting it down the road or trying to stopgap it with free agents, which is what they did with offensive line. You know, the offensive line still isn't fixed. It is nauseating to take a look at how bad this rushing attack was. Like it is bonkers that Devin Singletary was 14 for 24, was the lead back.
Yeah.
Tyrone Tracy, who you tried to get going, had a long of 1 yard. His longest rush was 1 yard on 4 carries. They aren't getting any push in the interior. And you know what the craziest part about all this is? What did we spend the last 3 weeks talking about with the Dallas Cowboys? They couldn't stop the run.
That's right.
They were getting pushed all over. And Micah Parsons, I know, was at the end of the game, went down with the injury and was kind of in and out of the lineup for this game, going off for various reasons. You could not run the ball on what has been an ass defense. They haven't stopped anybody from running the football. And you got your asses kicked up front.
You know what? If I was a Giants fan, what would have made me punch a hole in my wall? I saw Mozzie Smith get a TFL and start celebrating all over the offensive line. And I'm sitting here like, you let Mozzie Smith do that? Did he really just get one on you in the first half? That was gross. But I'd say that the Cowboys stopped the run more last night because Micah was playing more freely. He wasn't he wasn't assignment sound. I saw him victimizing the left tackle with inside moves all night and getting in the backfield. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep contained. And a lot of the times, Singletary bounced it outside of contain because the Cowboys defense was just going dogs after the ball. Against a better team with a better offensive line, that doesn't work. But I guess it works against the Giants. Other than that, I think all the Cowboys' problems are still right there in front of you. They can't play a full 4 quarters. They can't keep their penalties down. The time of possession battle got dominated by the Giants. The Giants dominated them.
Yeah.
35 minutes to 24. Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know how you can... I don't think you could paint a better picture for how mediocre this Giants offense is that they won that time of possession battle and they only mustered 15 points
Yeah,
out of this.
it's tough. It's a tough one.
I agree with you on the Cowboys. I think that's like the real only takeaway to have from this is I don't think any questions or concerns have really been answered by the way that they played yesterday. They were just better enough than a bottom 5 team in the NFL. That was it. That's all that happened in this game.
Not good enough to cover. The first miss for this dude comes as the final kick to cover 5.5.
Did I tell you I had that guy's been in my car before?
Brendan Aubrey?
Yeah, I thought we brought this up on the show.
You were driving around scaring the shit out of him.
So we played soccer at Notre Dame.
Okay.
He when I was my very last attempt at trying to get like a look when I was, trying out for the NFL and stuff, and my agent signed me up for or got me into a workout that I probably should not have been in. I was definitely not good enough to be there. But this was right at the beginning of when Brendan Aubrey was like, oh, I'm training with, there was a coach in San Diego he was training with. I'm training with so-and-so, John Carty, a former Notre Dame kicker, who played in the NFL for a long time. He was training with him, and he was like, oh, can I get a ride to the airport? I had like 4 people. I was the only guy there with a car. All these people were like, can I get a ride to the airport? I'm like, fuck. So I had to drive all these people. One annoying idiot was sitting next to me and wouldn't shut up. This moron next to me was talking about how he was flirting with one of the female scouts that was there, and I'm like, you idiot! Like, why would you be doing that when you're trying to
What?
Yeah, this moron
What?
he's like, oh yeah, I got her phone number. Like, yeah, because she's giving out her contact information, you idiots. But so I'm listening to this dumbass, and then I changed the subject to the guy in the back of the car, which is Brendan Aubrey, and he starts telling me about like, oh, I played soccer at Notre Dame. I'm like, oh wow, and like, I didn't even get to see him kick at all during that day, but it's crazy that this is what he turned into. I don't know him. I don't have his contact information. I've never spoken to him, but it's the most random thing that
Why
I
don't you
tell
give me his
people.
phone number? I got some words for him.
I don't have his
Find
contact.
it. I got some words and thoughts.
I don't have his contact information, but it's probably one of the most insanely random just connections to a person could have possibly have had. It's like he was in the back of my car because I offered him a ride to the airport.
Could that be? That's hilarious. Could there be a bigger jerk off than that guy trying to flirt on a
Yeah, that was
scout?
that was insane. I was like,
genuinely-
is this guy legitimately socially inept?
Women in football is a pretty sensitive subject to a lot of people.
Well, that was
And
my
you-
whole point.
and
I'm
you-
like, dude, this is a competitive environment. Just show up, kick, talk to whoever you need to talk to, who comes up to talk to you, and then leave. Yeah, Buddy's probably selling insurance somewhere now.
What a loser. I
Yeah.
mean, honest to God, I mean, there's that just shows that you're not ready to be in a professional environment because it's
No.
a scout. The lady is still a scout.
She was a scout with us with the CFL, so like I don't know if he thought that meant that like, oh, this completely changes the dynamic of the conversation. I don't know. I was in insane behavior, and it kind of paints the picture that nobody realizes. Most specialists are dunces. We were all complete idiots in different categories.
Real morons.
Yes.
They're either party animals.
Well,
incels.
Every position group has their own archetype. Kickers are all the party animals that are self-absorbed, that thinks everybody has their attention on them.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks that they're this very delicate creature that's so worried and they need to be pampered. No. They desperately want everybody to be talking about them after they make a kick. That's why they get so upset when they miss, is because they can't be the big dick for once on the team. All the punters are like our good friend Anthony Garrow, where they're all obsessed with deadlifting and power cleans. They're the biggest hardos on the team. It's not the long snappers. It's always the punters. And then the long snappers are trying, like, typically are the type to struggle to know how to put their equipment and helmet on. We're the ones that don't know where we need to be at what time, and we don't know where we are. There's very few. The ones that are really locked in are the ones that make it to the NFL, but most of us are just fat, drunk pieces of crap.
You're very routine based, a little
Very lazy. The very laziest of the position groups.
I could you know what? I could see that. The long snapper being a little bit skewed makes the most sense after seeing you and a lot of other long snappers that have come and gone at the roadie program. They're all weird. All weirdos. Every single one of them.
All right. Also, Dan, don't compare. I hate theater kids, so don't
spot on,
compare.
Dan.
Don't compare. No, don't. There's a
Sounds like-
complete, absolute difference because we're actually athletic. We're not just a bunch of idiots
Look at
hanging
Taylor
on to nothing.
You look at Taylor Lautner, tell me he's not athletic. He's technically a drama kid.
Well, for the most part, most of the, like Channing Tatum, they were athletes that then decided to pursue,
What about Michael B. Jordan? He looks like he's in pretty good shape. Theater kid.
shut your mouth. Let's jump over to before we get to the hack bag. I want to buy one of these hats that has been circulating, the ass hat. We know that the A's, that their time in Oakland is completely done. They are selling a hat. You can't tell me that this wasn't deliberate, that somebody in the team store didn't do this on purpose. It's supposed to be like this patterned look where with the logoing, and I'm sure it's for every single team, where it's the logo and there's kind of faded ones behind it. But because of the A's, the A, the apostrophe S, it just made ass across the hat. Again, you can't tell me that somebody didn't do this on purpose. This couldn't be any more obviously, hey, let's put ass on the front of this hat.
I mean, it's probably the most genius way to sell a hat is to act like we didn't know, and then now we got a bunch of ass hats going around. It's a brilliant. First of all, it's an awful design. The fade, the echo of the first logo. Is
Dan
weak.
bought the hat.
but it's brilliant. We're all still a bunch of simpletons. Don't let any of the Twitter discourse or the online medical experts fool you. All people are is idiots that want to wear a hat that says ass on it. All right, and I'm one of them. I graduated college. Joe graduated college.
It was just like the Charlotte CLT hats that said clit on them.
Yeah, exactly. All this.
We need to get rid of that, by the way. I'm seeing the University of Charlotte 49ers got that CLT all over the place. Can we please have just a little bit of self-awareness here that it says clit on all of your stuff?
Yeah, it's a bad look. It's bad. An ass on the hat is bad. But people like bad. And people like really wholesome good. If the A's put Moodang on a hat, I'd buy 10 of them right now.
All
okay?
right.
That's what I'm looking. I can't get enough. I'm obsessed.
Did you see that someone said that they've got information to lock Moodang up?
No,
they've got
no,
information
there's
that
no
could lead to his arrest.
There's no information out on that angel. Okay, he is just.
I don't know, man. It sounded like it was pretty serious.
Big content guy is gonna get the hands if I see it.
It was a big content guy.
But he's been on a tear because he doubled down on.
I mean, he makes
slow roasting.
Yeah,
Moodang.
he makes a good point. I wonder what Moodang would taste like in a slow cooker. I legitimately.
I think you are gonna catch some hands if you keep on talking like Moodang. But we're just a bunch of simpletons, right? We like Moodang. We like the ass hat. I like that the A's are all pissed. The A's do a great bit, the fans, where they just hate showing up. And then as soon as there's controversy, it's droves. And I'm the biggest A's fan ever. And I brought my kids to the game. And my dad brought me and which is the essence of baseball.
When you have a
It's
fan of a bad team, I think that's how you should act.
Yeah, I get it. But the essence
Like,
of
I hate
baseball,
my team, but then all of a sudden it's like, hey, don't leave.
just keep going to the games then. Show up. Maybe, and I know it's the ownership group, and they just sell good talent, and they completely abandon the money ball, and they're just the feeder system and the team that gets a couple good players every year, and then they aren't on the team anymore. It's very frustrating. I have cheap owners in Washington also, and we abandoned every one of our good stars to let the Phillies be good. Congratulations on your fraudulent playoff berth. Also, by the way, Nats North. Proud of you guys.
Screw you.
Guys, yeah, you guys are really great, really talented. We built you.
Attention.
You stink.
All right, let's move on to the hack bag as we always do on Fridays, except when we're not here. First question that we've got from Dan B at JMU Grad Dan. Man, this is very specific to what we found out about Sean this week. Are girls better bullies than boys? This is for you.
Oh, yes. Girls are better bullies than boys. Growing up with sisters.
Good context there.
And being bullied by girls a good amount. It's true. They are mean, and also they develop quicker at a younger age, so they're bigger and stronger than boys in like 4th grade on average. So they can pick on boys equally, if not harder. And then when they turn into teenagers, the meanest people you've ever met, and even in an adult life, like if a dude says something to me that's rude, like I don't care. It just washes right off me. But if a woman or a girl gives you some real meanness, that cuts. And not like even in a romantic going after a way, but just saying something mean. Oh, I don't like your hair. Oh, well, that sucks. Like, that's just going to carry with me.
This was way too quality of an answer.
I'm just saying,
way too much good context in here.
Girls are much better bullies than boys. Boys are Neanderthals that like to punch each other and throw drinks at each other. Neanderthals.
Next question that we have from Jamie. Who are your early top 5 players for the Walter Payton Award? This is in no particular order. I think Eli Gilman's been off to a huge start for Montana. Shaderick Powell has been freaking phenomenal for Central Arkansas this year. I think Maverick MacGyver is going to finish somewhere in that conversation because he has just been throwing the ball all over the yard. We have to give love to Paxton De Laurent because Paxton De Laurent has been like carrying his team. The big reason for their success. And then I kind of come back to like who else deserves to be in the mix. Of course, we would bring up Gronowski. I don't know. I'm almost at a complete total mental lapse. But I think Calzada has been great for Incarnate Word.
Yeah, I had my 5. I had Lan Larison, Shaderick Powell. Love that you brought him up. I think maybe you give a nod to Miller at NDSU. I had Paxton De Laurent.
Yeah, that's a great point. Cam Miller also, I think, would be in that conversation.
And then I got Kayvon Britton from Tarleton, who's been having a monster season. And it's Tarleton, and I know that we've joked about Tarleton, but he's a legit running back and should be getting consideration 4 games into the season. So, yeah, it's going to be a tight race this year. Running backs are good. Quarterbacks are really good.
Here's the asshole comment from Jamie. Joe went to visit his girlfriend at Dartmouth. By the way, Jamie, you're not the first person. I texted the CFE guys because they'd spent 10 minutes talking about the whole woke agenda joke with Cal. So I texted them to point out that I interacted with a woke agenda member while I was at Dartmouth. And all they could hang on to the fact was, and this was Dan's comment, we just found out that Joe's girlfriend is smarter than him.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Jamie's question, though, Joe went to visit his girlfriend at Dartmouth. That means 2 things. She's way smarter than him, and he is a cradle robber. Disgust. No. She's in business school, you idiot. She's 3 years older than me. What?
Jamie may be onto something here.
What do you? Everybody that was at Tuck when I was visiting, they were all 25 and older. There was nobody that was younger than that.
I think Jamie may be really onto something about you and proclivities.
What are you talking about? Don't throw that around. When quite literally, I am the one who's being cradle robbed here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you play that card. But it is true.
I'm getting groomed.
If you listen to the FCS show, Joe was the one trying to take art off the walls and scheming it.
No. Rephrase that. I was trying to steal. Not take art off the walls. I was trying to steal what would have been a very unique piece of artwork that is that of an individual who donated to the university that is in jail for securities fraud. That is badass as shit. Because everyone's going to be like, hey, we could have gotten a plaque underneath it. We could have gotten it. I'm totally going to steal this next time. We could have gotten a plaque. We could have hung it in the studio and then got an engraved plaque that says this man is in jail for securities fraud.
That's, you know what?
And we would have named the studio after him. I would have named, if I got away with that picture and I stole it, it would have been the official studio of that guy. I don't remember what his name was.
I'm fine having the studio presented by that gentleman. All right. Free him. But
no. Well, this is my whole argument why I can steal it. He can't get out because the whole point is that if it gets stolen, one, the school has no incentive to go to him and be like, hey, someone stole your picture, blah, blah, blah. We're so devastated. They don't have any obligation to go communicate with him, nor should they want to communicate with him.
Yeah.
It's not like he's still funding them.
Oh, so it's just ripe for the picking.
Yeah, you steal it, and then they're going to be like, what? It helps them because then they can hang something else there that's not a guy that's in jail. Mm-hmm. They don't need to feel like they're being forced to keep it up there because he donated. I don't think anyone would miss the picture. That was the conversation I had in my Discord with my buddies. Which
New development, Joe DeLeone approves of tearing down old statues and taking people's pictures off the wall.
Wait. Don't
Joe
because I called you a pro-vax.
Don't pulling down
Don't say no. You
statues in
can't
the
flip this
town
on me.
centers.
You can't flip this on me
I
because
think I
you
could.
came out all pro-vax,
No, I did not come out
anti-Elon, and now you're trying to throw it back in my face.
I was pro-baseball.
BS. You were trying to sneak in there. I don't know who paid you. I don't know if it was Pfizer or whatever that paid you.
Oh, I'm sure I'm
that
getting
said,
paid off.
I need you to get this in, but not push it as a why you should go get your vaccine.
This is that. No.
That tweet was probably paid by Pfizer.
It was a dude saying he wanted to
Or
watch.
Moderna.
Did I tell you? Did you see that somebody accused FCS poll voters of possibly being paid off by schools to include them in week 4 under one of my
do you
tweets?
think that they have?
I'm sitting here like, do you think I'm getting paid for this? Genuinely? Do you think that anybody is reaching out to my DMs and paying me to put them at 19? No. Get a grip, FCS fans.
Jamie, we're gonna be at noon. Is this the only week that we?
This should be the only
Okay,
week,
yeah, we just had a slight scheduling change. Yeah, we got to get on a more consistent schedule when we do these. All right, next question. Oh wait, we didn't discuss. So he wants us to discuss like what are your thoughts? Like I don't. Do you have anything that any shade that you want to throw? Jamie just wanted to be a dick.
Yeah, she is way smarter than him. You're
Thanks.
a rube. You could have never gotten into Dartmouth. I don't think you could get into Dartmouth business school right now.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that's mostly the discussion is that you're a rube, and then you sent me a really oddly sexual photo from that trip also.
I
that
sat
don't
in some
appreciate.
beer and I sent you a picture of all the beer that was on my ass.
You sent me a tasty ass shot, which I did not like. You made a freaking face of like you sent me a cute girl face of Jesus. He spilled coffee on his laptop, his work laptop, even at that. What a genius. Yeah, Joe's a pervert. He couldn't help himself after he had 3 beers, so he had to start texting me sexy photos of himself in front of a mirror.
I had beer all over my ass.
Go to your mic. What's wrong with you?
This is
By the way, I saw you just waving that coffee cup all around all show. I'm like, this better be empty because he's being way too cavalier with the cup.
Hey, I'm a pro with the cup in my hand. Okay, I am as the hat says. I am very experienced with a coffee cup, so I know when it's gonna spill. I did that on purpose.
That hat sucks.
This is a great hat.
Just says coffee. You like
Yeah.
coffee, pal? I can't stand
It's
coffee culture.
it's for Big Cat's coffee brand.
Oh, it's the Stella Blue
Yeah.
hat? Oh,
Yeah.
it just says coffee? All
This
right.
was a gift. Somebody gave it to me. All right, let's move on.
No,
Brent-
Ron, you got to calm down, man. The chat is getting out of control. Ron, this gentleman is taking down statues in Times Square in
All
Central
right.
Park. And I'm not going to be labeled.
No. Brendan's question: World Series Game 7, NBA Finals Game 7, or Stanley Cup Finals Game 7? Which one do you pick to go to in person? Out of all of these, I haven't been to a Game 7, but I have been to a Stanley Cup game before. I think it was Game 2 for Kings Devils. It kind of still felt like a normal hockey game, which was kind of weird. You kind of expect there to be a little more intensity, but it kind of about the same. Man, I don't know. I would like to say that I feel like World Series Game 7, those games I feel like there's very rarely, because those guys leave it out on the field a lot more. I feel like in the NBA, we kind of get a lot of that where it starts to kind of slip away and it just ends up being a blowout. And it's like, great, this was
they can't all be 2016
boring game.
Cavs Warriors.
Baseball is one of those sports where there's not much of a separation gap between the teams that make it there.
Yeah.
Hence why a lot of times these wild card teams are the ones that go on these runs lately. It's just if you're the hot team and you've got the 2 hottest teams, they're going to find ways to scrap back in. It might only be a couple run game. I'd probably go World Series.
I think World Series is the definite answer in this. NBA Finals Game 7, like that'd be
Good
great,
question.
but I'd rather go to like a mid-series game while it's still close. Stanley Cup Finals. I don't go to any playoff games anymore for hockey. And me and all my friends made a pact years and years ago, actually, because every single game that any 8 of us went to, they lost. The Caps lost. And that's when they were chasing before they got the cup, even after the cup, every time that one of us went, it was a awful, ugly loss. And I think with the World Series in baseball, you get to really be invested in every single pitch, like how you would hope baseball is treated in the regular season, which it just isn't because it's a long, boring game. But in the World Series, it's every single pitch, and you're glued to the game. So I think it has to be World Series, no other question, or no other answer, rather.
I'm perplexed by this next question that we have from Chester. What are the best and worst destinations for a bachelor party? Windsor is an underrated spot. So Sean and I are not there just yet, but like we're a couple years away from one, starting to get invited to these things, and then two, probably 5 to 7 years away from us having our own. I mean, how much have you legitimately like have you thought to yourself like, what would be your top like 2 for where you'd want to go have a bachelor party?
Oh God, no, I haven't. Like New Orleans would probably be sick. As much as I hate the Saints, like that would just be insane. Just getting hammered on Bourbon Street and all those sick bars there.
Yeah.
I'll say this: when I was in Prague, was an insane bachelor party spot. Everybody, when I was sitting there drinking in the square,
that's such a far place to travel to. I feel like you got to kind of do that in the U.S.
I would just say, just for the question there, not even for mine, Chester, I thought Prague was insane because every 5 minutes you saw a new group walking around with their funny gimmicky T-shirts with their buddy's face printed on.
So it's a lot of dudes, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Great place to be. I mean, great place to be on your bachelor party weekend.
I think Vegas,
lots of dudes.
Vegas is tried and true.
Were they taking those shirts off at any point?
No, not in the square. I'm sure later at the evening then they were.
Okay.
Because they just...
Were you with them when they were taking off?
No, we were just cheering them on, just raising our drink,
okay,
just drinking our huge beers and just
watching
many groups of 30-year-old. What do you mean you're sure? I wasn't hopping in the bachelor party. I was drinking.
No, you weren't understanding the joke that I was making. I think Chester and everyone else.
I'm missing it then.
I was implying that they were male strippers. That was what the joke was. Prague sounds fine. The one that I think the general thing that I want to do, I think Vegas is overrated. I think it's super overrated. I think that it just feels like I'm in one giant mall. Not the biggest fan. The only way that I could see myself there is if I got like paid and I was working there. I would have to live off the strip or something, but it just feels so much like you've never been, right?
No, I've never been.
It feels you barely go outside. It feels like it is the biggest mall in the world. I think though, and this is less to do with the location and more to do with the activity. One of the most fun weekends that I had with my buddies on just a short trip is when we went to Palm Springs. Me and my buddy Cross and Devin, just the three of us. We paid for it because my one friend is a pilot. So he has all of these Hilton rewards. So we were able to get for a pretty cheap price this gigantic room that was it was like a huge suite. So we had all this space and we were chilling and stuff. It had a balcony, so we were overlooking a golf course. It was on a golf course. It was really like cheaper than most hotel rooms are for what we got it for. And we played 96 holes of golf in 3 days.
Yeah, golf trip might be the best. Because you can just get hammered. You're with the fellas. You're on the golf course. You're doing whatever you want to do. Because golf courses are just like a little, it's like recess for dudes.
Right.
Where there's no real parents out. The teachers aren't there. It's just reckless abandon. God, that's a good shout, Joe. I'll give it to you.
And like I almost think, just from every time I see people talk about this, do I really want to go to Nashville and stand in another crowded bar when I know that there's
you're not a woman, so you wouldn't go to Nashville.
Right. Well, I know that dudes go to Nashville for their bachelor parties. It's not like, guys do it too, man. People don't talk about that enough. That guys also do it.
Pass.
So to put an actual location on it, worst would be Nashville. Worst would be, I think Vegas is incredibly overrated.
Worst would be Richmond, Virginia. That would be worst.
Best, I would say like Arizona, depending on the time of year, would be good because there's a lot of golf over there. Florida, parts of Florida, because then you could also be near the water and you could go play lots of golf. San Diego's got a lot of good golf courses too. I'd even go. I mean, I don't know what the golfing situation in a state like Montana is, but I feel like that'd be sick. Do a cabin kind of thing and then drive around to a couple courses.
If I had dream weekend, it would be Falcons are good. Me and my buddies go down to watch a game and hit clubs in Atlanta for a weekend. Just one weekend. We Magic
okay.
City it up. It's the music. It's everything. I'm bought it. I'm like
Clubs or strip clubs?
well, we'd go to a club and then obviously end up at Magic City.
For the strip club part obviously makes sense, but like the clubs itself, I don't know what the desire is when you're 30 to be paying for it. It still makes
Because it's
no
stupid. You're making an awful stupid money decision.
but
I want to get a bottle war. I want to pay $1,000
wanna do that.
for a bottle and pour it out on my shoes.
You know what?
That's what I want to do.
if I ever
That's my bachelor party. We're getting a bottle wars.
if I ever, to the goals that I work towards, that you and I both know that we both work towards, if I ever get the big hosting job that I'm looking for, we're fucking doing that. We're doing that, because I will admit that absolutely sounds so stupid.
It's just stupid and fun. Like I need like.
But are we gonna clubbing for your bachelor party? No.
No, like go to a Falcons game and have a good time in the A. Oh God, that's where I gotta go.
Chester though said Windsor is an underrated spot. So is he talking about Windsor in Ontario or Windsor in England? I don't know anything about
I would guess that Windsor is a bad bar in Idaho where they play a lot of butt rock and grunge music. I don't know. Windsor is not a place that I think. It sounds like the Caddyshack Club.
Wait, what is this? No, this is a clothing store in Idaho. Never mind.
I don't know what he's on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it is a part of Idaho. Yeah, wait, Windsor Creek subdivision. What is this? No, that's like a gated community in Idaho.
Yeah.
That was a good guess, but I guess we were wrong on that one. Oh wait, Dan, here's a good question from Dan. Pick one for bachelor party. Normal, Illinois, Moorhead, Montana, Laramie, Wyoming. Those all sound
I think Illinois
horrible.
State's in Normal, Illinois. I don't know, Laramie probably.
Oh man, look how nice Normal, Illinois looks.
Oh, that is not great, brother. That's not. I'm sorry. It's Midwest, and I know we have a lot of Midwest listeners. Not knocking the Midwest. It's not my vibe. I'd probably go to Wyoming. Big sky. Check out the mountains.
I think, but I remember this dumb idea that I had a while ago that I think could be a good content idea. In the event that we have more available time to ourselves in the off season, I still think would be a fun, just like tear it up weekend. This has nothing to do with bachelor parties. You do a location randomizer, you pick a random location, and then you just have to go. You just have to go. There's no questions asked. You just have to go. I think that could be a fun content weekend. It's just like, okay, where the hell are we? Where is this? This tiny little town that's got one bar. I guess that'd be Bowie's Creek all over again.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know what? I don't know if I look back fondly on Bowie's Creek, but I look back on it a good amount.
Oh, God, I don't think there was any. I love J.A. Campbell and him, but God, University Campbell was so boring. Chester, if you were a stripper, what would your stage name be? Are we implying that we're male strippers, or if we were of the opposite gender?
I'll give both here. Male stripper, Big Smoke or Smoke Son.
God, that's a terrible name.
Oh, no, here he comes, ladies. Big Smoke, and I'm just the smoke comes out.
You just come waddling out.
Yeah,
just like a lot of people standing up and turning around to go to the buffet. Like, oh shit, who let the big guy out here?
Sitting there thrusting just to nobody and gyrating. If I was a woman stripper, it would be Fiona, because that's the girl ogre in Shrek. That's what it would be.
All right, here's my pitch. Joe the DeLeone.
Oh no! You suck.
That's great. I don't know what constitutes a male stripper name, but that sounds right.
Oh my God.
That's a great name. Come on.
Joe the DeLeone. You're using your full government name. What's wrong with you? That's not how it works. No, there's a stripper name with your real name.
It's not porn star. I'm not a porn star.
What's your real name? Not your stripper name. It's an iconic. Yes, you can't use your real name on stage. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Chester, what is the worst group of people? Vegans, people into CrossFit, or donkey? Oh, Boise State fans. Okay, there's a lot of vegans that are doing it. I think the CrossFit people, man. Like I know I can never get behind the CrossFit people. I feel like every time that you talk to somebody who's into CrossFit, they're just such hardos. In high school, a lot of people who were into it, and I just could not get along. Guys who played sports with.
Yeah.
You know who was big into CrossFit? Who you met at my dad's wedding? Trevor.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to be really big into CrossFit. So like those types of guys.
You know what? I'm gonna go with vegans because every time I pass that CrossFit gym by us, the people in there look like they're getting some work in. Like it doesn't look.
No,
it
it's
seems
fake
like,
work. It's fake
I'm telling you,
hardoisms.
I don't know. That coach is kind of yelling at
They're
them.
throwing around lightweight and they're just doing a ton of reps in a short amount of time, and there's no breaks. It's not.
I get it.
And there's that poor golden retriever who's just sitting there, and there's a bunch of loud noises going on. There's construction. There's cars driving by.
In an aluminum box. I feel bad for that dog.
Get that damn dog out of the. I want to steal that dog one of these days.
I'm not only going to go with vegans because the vegans annoyance, but on the exact opposite side of the spectrum, anybody telling you about carnivore. So vegans and carnivore can both go screw. You're both annoying.
Oh, you're taking a shot at Blake?
Liver King has given you all brain rot. Just eat some chicken and rice and some broccoli, and then you'll be fine. Which I don't do.
Dan says I should be Long Joey D. I don't know. That one's worse.
I like that one, Dan. You're onto something.
Brendan wants to know what happened to the Mug of Greatness. What happened to it?
Oh, the Mug of Greatness is still around. Still trying to figure out the best way to incorporate it in the studio because I'm sitting right by the board and knowing my shaky hands.
Couldn't you put it behind you?
Yeah, I could.
Put it where the Toots Shore.
I can't replace Toots Shore ashtray. It's too important. Do you want to answer a couple of voicemails that we have?
Wait, I had a couple people that commented in their mind, so let's get to these before we get to the voicemails. Why does Daniel Jones want to ruin Malik Neighbors' career? That's from Blake. That's a great question, but I would argue, why does Malik Neighbors want to resurrect Daniel Jones' career? Because he's hurting himself by making Daniel Jones look good because mouth breathers like Sean think he played better than he actually did.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, actually. Neighbors should take the year off. He should just say, "I'm done, coach. Give me a new coach."
Red shirt me the rest of the year. Pull a Bear Alexander and just completely step out for the rest of the season.
That'd be smart.
The other last question that we had, Bison Rants. This is a bad question, Bison Rants. Do a detailed product description read and personal testimonials for Hims. Entire product line for every show, or get kicked in the guts by an MMA fighter each time you or I loses. I don't care. I'll admit I am a subscriber of Hims because I would love if you sponsored the show, Hims. This is a great way to set up. We should get a sponsorship with them.
Sure.
I had a bad hairline coming in. I had the whole widow's peak coming in, and I freaked out. I didn't want to lose my damn hair. So I subscribed to it. So no, that's a bad question. That's not embarrassing. A lot more dudes are doing that than you think.
That's true. A lot of guys, because
that's why I started doing. I talked to a friend who was like, "Yeah, I started doing this because I was starting to get freaked out, and his recommendation made me want to use it." So no, but you can't shame us.
Well, I mean, I think me and my glorious head of hair that's never going to move until I'm dead under the dirt. Just given, I'm just like the golden god of hair. It's so good. My hairline is so solid. I don't have a bald member in my family, either side. I'm perfect. I'm set for life. But you're right. There are a lot of dudes that are using Hims because it is the discreet packaging and it is easy. I think it's like super easy. You shake it in your hair once a day and you're good. And you're sitting here. Oh, I'm protected. I have my shield. Yeah, the hair protective system has improved. I'd say it's not the Bosley, it's not the shake that you put on your head. It's definitely getting better.
So we only have 2 voicemails.
Yeah, 2 voicemails.
Okay, first voicemail that we've got right here.
Hey Joe, hey Sean, long time, third time, or second time, depending on how you.
No, it's third time.
But I got a hot take for you. You guys fell off. You fell off. What the hell is this? You guys used to be Hack City. What happened to Hack of the Month or Hack of the Week? What happened to you guys calling each other hacks or being hacks? I don't even know if I know what this channel even is anymore. So, look.
You're
either call me a
tuning
hack
into the
right
show
now,
right now.
Just
or you call me a hack for asking you to be a hack, or you call me a hack for being calling in 10 minutes before the deadline. But either
You were
call
a
me
hack
a
for
hack
that.
or I'm unsubscribing. I'm final on that. There's no more hack content.
you're a hack.
No more
Hack.
content. And I'm done. I see my time. And how my cat's gonna do this year? That too. I see my time.
Gee, I wonder who left that one. I would argue the channel's gotten progressively more hack.
Yeah.
Because we've started just venturing into whatever we feel like talking about.
We talked about a hat that said ass today. Okay, that's hack stuff. We are hacking
I
it
gave
up. Hack.
the worst stripper name ever.
Joe gave his government name as his stripper name. Okay, this is Hack City. You're in the city, brother. We are hacking it up.
Man.
You're a hack for the voicemail. Leaving it at 10. Literally, he did leave it 10 minutes before the show started today. I don't know why you waited.
Well,
so long.
he asked me last night what the deadline was. So I
What'd you tell him? 10:50.
11. I told him the deadline was 11 when we go live.
How would I even be able to get it in the system if you
Oh,
told me
God
11?
forbid it's a tough download and upload process.
Well, I got to listen to it. I got to make sure he's not going off on some racial epithet. I'm not putting these up blind, DeLeone.
That's a good point. All right. A lot of mean comments this week. This is another one.
Listen, you frickin' hacks. You know you suck. I just had to call you and tell you you're terrible. You know who this is.
Yeah, we do know who this is.
Yeah, that was good to hear, man. Like that. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, nobody left questions. Everyone's just mean this week.
It's fine.
Bunch of dicks.
God.
Do we want to save the costume thing for next Friday?
We can. You want to just close it with the shout and then
Yeah, shout of the week. What do you got?
Yep. All right. Shout of the week. Everything you should eat, drink, and watch this weekend. You don't have anybody in your life telling you what to do. I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to give you a good plan. Set you up nice and easy. This weekend, you may start feeling a bit more chill in the air. We're starting to get that brisk fall. It's not chili or soup season yet, though. It's not big, hearty meal time. But we're still going warm food. We're going barbecue. Get some burnt ends or a hot link. Maybe some ribs. If that comes with pickles and mac and cheese, that's a great deal. Keep the food warm, but let's transition to the cold in style. We're not jumping knee deep into the chili yet. Drinking. This weekend, you're on your own. Drink as whatever alcohol you want. It's fine. You want to wine it up on Saturday during the day. I don't care. But here's what you're gonna do. Sunday, 2 p.m. Follow me here. You're going to get a dark soda. You're going to get a cola, a Dr. Pepper, not a Dr. Pibb, a Dr. Pepper. Don't get too excited now, though. All right, you got it in the can. You're happy with it. Put it in the fridge immediately. You're going to wait another 20 minutes, get a nice glass. Not a plastic cup, a nice glass, not a ceramic mug, a glass. Put it in the freezer. Chill it down. Ice down the glass. It needs to be frosty. Fill it with cubes. Load it with cubes. Put the cola in. You're going to have a nice, delicious, cool, cold, frozen soda. It's going to bring the life back to you.
No alcohol?
Oh, you can drink 40 beers on Saturday as far as I'm concerned. This soda actually is going to be better for your hangover. I don't have an alcohol shout. It's strictly a soda shout this weekend.
Have you ever had a Dr. Nut before?
What you're going to watch this week?
No, wait. This is a real drink. A Dr. Nut is Dr. Pepper. I thought that's what we were setting up for. It's Dr. Pepper and amaretto, which is I forget what type of alcohol that is.
I don't know.
But apparently it's very good. My friends swear by it. They thought it was hilarious because of the name, and then they made it, and they're like, "This is the best drink that I've ever had." Apparently, it's very good.
I'm not doing a Dr. Nut, pal. I'm gonna do a tall glass of Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper, iced to the brim. It's gotta be iced. If you're doing a warm soda this weekend, you're losing the weekend. What you're gonna watch? It's what me and Joe are watching. Megalopolis. Go see it. We're getting no promo. We're getting no payment from this movie to encourage you to watch it. But I know we're going to talk about it, and it'll be fun to have a good discussion about this film next week if everyone sees it.
Here's what I would add to this. Shout of the week. Find a time that doesn't interfere with football. so you can watch this Friday night game and don't go on Saturday. Have 10 to 12 beers and then Uber to the movie theater and then watch Megalopolis. Sneak a couple in with you somehow. There's the advantage of having a girlfriend because
The purse.
so like my stepmom was the king of this, was the queen of this. She would always bring a really big purse, and half the time we wouldn't know. Like she would just open her bag and then she would start handing people White Claws. Like that was what we would be sitting in the
what
movie
a goated
theater.
move!
Yeah, yeah. She also figured out that you can
you're
take.
cheap.
They figured out that you could because most movie theaters don't sell alcohol.
I think a lot of them do now.
Not that many, man. Not that many. You can also take like the little nips. Those are under the liquid restrictions for airplanes, so you could take as many of those as you want onto a plane.
Okay,
That's often misunderstood. At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio. Stay safe, everybody. We'll talk to you later. If you want to leave a hack bag voicemail next week, 201-834-4308. We'll talk to you goofballs later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.